Hi, my name's Phil. I like talking about politics, and in this video I'd like to discuss the very messy four-way splits that may be emerging in the Conservative Party along the lines of who should be Prime Minister from September the 6th. This is particularly messy as two of the factions are backing candidates they're not even on the ballot paper for members. And this isn't just a few disgruntled MPs, it could be serious. Well, for the Tories, serious. Seriously funny for everyone else. But first, if you'd like to be notified of daily news and politics, please subscribe to the channel and click the bell notification icon. So, I'm not sure if people have noticed that the Daily Telegraph are running a campaign to get Boris Johnson effectively reinstated. I know he hasn't actually resigned as Prime Minister yet, but by automatic process, he will be replaced on September the 6th. And yet again, for those concerned that he might not go ahead with it, Phil, he might not actually resign, doesn't matter. He's a Prime Minister, not a President. If he doesn't resign, he'll still be replaced and just look very silly. He will resign, but not until he's spent this summer on the biggest publicly funded bender since the days of George IV. But there are some Conservatives who want Johnson to continue. They're trying to suggest that he was displaced by a coup. I mean, they can call it what they like. The process is the process. Like I say, he's a Prime Minister, not a President. Despite what he and his supporters say, he's not a President. He wasn't elected on a personal mandate. You don't vote for Prime Ministers. Certainly we don't anyway. The Prime Minister is the parliamentarian who has the confidence of a majority of MPs in the House of Commons. The role has, in the past, been filled by Lords. Still technically could be, but not a realistic prospect these days. The public would be less than impressed. So as soon as the majority of MPs decide they'd rather have a different Prime Minister, there's a change. Simple enough. Frankly, he never should have been Prime Minister at all. When he won the Tory leadership contest, a cross-party group of MPs wanted to form a government of national unity behind a compromise Prime Minister. If Corbyn had agreed to go along with that, Johnson would have been hauled out of Downing Street on his first day. That's how it works. But the Telegraph are running a campaign to try and get Conservative Party members to sign a petition calling for Johnson to be on the final ballot. Naturally, this is a nonsense. The rules of the contest were set at the start of the process, can't be changed partway through. It would look chaotic. Could even be worse. I wonder if such a move could even trigger a legal challenge, given that although this is an internal party matter in theory, the winner does run our government. But anyway, in any case, it's not going to happen. But the petition has gathered 10,000 names so far. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, yeah, Twitter poll, is it? Apparently, they are recording party membership numbers along with the names, so it should be possible to verify that all the signatories are genuine. Mind you, it would be a bit of an admin task, I suspect. Now, I'm not sure how many party members there are exactly, because the Conservatives don't routinely publish the figures, unlike other political parties. I'm not even sure why. It's like they're conditioned to be evasive or something. But I think there might be about 140,000. I guess we'll find out after the contest, because we'll know how many voted for Sunak, how many for Truss, and how many didn't vote at all. But I think it's about 140,000 maybe. So then you're talking maybe about 7% of members have signed this petition. The aim is to get double that figure. Now, you could say, yes, this is a small minority of members, but actually, being honest, this is also the number of members who are prepared to sign a petition. You know, they're the ones who are not only aware of the campaign, there may be Tory party members not even aware of this campaign. So they're the ones who are not only aware of the campaign, but feel strongly enough about it to actually commit their names and membership numbers to this petition. So in a situation like that, it's usually reasonable to suggest that there are a great many more who would do so if the process were easier. So maybe there are a lot of Tory party members who would prefer Boris Johnson to remain in place. Even if they didn't approve of him before, after seeing the performance of his potential successors, I can absolutely believe that a lot of Tory party members are thinking, better the devil you know. But of course, the contest rules are not going to be changed. So this has the potential to be very messy for the Tories once the successor is anointed. Let's be under no illusions. The country is not suddenly going to get back on its feet with either Sunak or Truss in charge. Frankly, it's going to carry on getting worse. There will be differences between how they will approach things and how Johnson would have done. But the net result is still a worsening economy, greater social divisions, failing public services, an increase in inequality and international aggravation. But Johnson's supporters will feel hard done by. This petition might let them think that they have the support of the members, even though 20,000 of them signing it will still be a small minority. It may embolden them to attack the new Prime Minister without being seen as disloyal when things carry on going badly. In fact, they may even see themselves as heroes of the party for doing so. According to reports, Boris Johnson has apparently told his staff he expects to be back in a year. The implication seems to be that he thinks Liz Truss is going to win and make such an arse of things that the Tories are going to beg Johnson to come back by the end of next year. Now, I'm not sure I see this fantasy playing out, I have to say. Remember that Boris Johnson is not an astute political tactician. He's a deluded egomaniac. But if this is his plan, if this is how it works in his head, then his supporters will do what they can to lay the groundwork for it. This is likely to be in the form of actively undermining their new leader. And of course, Boris Johnson, at every step of the way, will say that things would be marvellous. You know, when the economy is still in the doldrums next year, he'll say, well, actually, this is round about the time it would have all started coming good, that we'd have rolled out the programme for paving the roads with gold. You know, yes, we had some tough times. We were almost there. You just got rid of me just as it was about to get brilliant. You know. But this outcome, apart from being a bit daft, is also complicated by a fourth faction. Those backing the losing semi-finalist Penny Mordaunt. They've got designs of their own. See, at the moment, there is a leak inquiry being conducted by the Cabinet Secretary Simon Case. I don't know how many people know this. There were some leaks from the civil service designed to damage Penny Mordaunt during the leadership contest. Now, obviously, it wasn't in the interests of civil servants to do this. A minister has authorised it. And everyone knows this will have come from Liz Truss. Not only was she the beneficiary of these leaks because it propelled her ahead of Mordaunt in the final parliamentary round after being behind previously, but Truss is known to have been playing dirty throughout. One of her team, Priti Patel, even admitted leaking damaging information about Rishi Sunak, although nothing seems to have been done about that. Now, if I remember my Yes Minister political education, leak inquiries aren't always a serious attempt to find the real culprit, but this one might be. It is hard to say, because if Boris Johnson wants Truss to win, he's likely to suggest to Case that he doesn't actually want any conclusion. In fact, due to Johnson's support for Truss, I actually can't imagine this one having the legs to do the damage that Mordaunt supporters hope it will. But, in theory, if the leak inquiry did uncover the fact that Liz Truss had authorised these leaks, then that would set the cat amongst the pigeons. It would mean that Truss had broken the ministerial code and should resign. Now, even if this did occur, there's no path from that outcome to taking Truss out of the contest and replacing her with Mordaunt. There are no contest rules that I can see that disqualify a candidate at that point, you know, for dirty tricks. But Mordaunt's supporters will insist that Truss gained her place on the final ballot by dishonourable methods. And it would be a very bad idea to have a Prime Minister who leaks secrets. So we could end up with the following four factions emerging here. First would be Boris Johnson's backers, who may feel that the party members really wanted the blonde buffoon to remain in place and may feel that it won't be an act of disloyalty to challenge the replacement at selected opportunities, especially if they don't deliver on their campaign promises. And if Liz Truss wins, as she's currently expected to, she's not going to deliver on those promises because they're impossible. The second faction would be Mordaunt's backers, who will similarly feel that the party was robbed of their candidate. Mordaunt was considered the grassroots favourite of the final three in the contest. They may also feel that they are representing the party members if they challenge Truss as Prime Minister. The third faction would be Sunak's supporters. Now, they're more difficult to judge, but if Truss wins, they may also feel it was down to lies and dirty tricks. After all, she's an idiot. You've only got to listen to her for half a minute. She's an idiot. She polled very poorly in terms of public approval across the board. So Sunak's supporters may well be of the view that the only way members would vote for Liz Truss is because they fell for her lies. And they may be happy to surreptitiously trip her up from time to time as well. And the third faction would be those in Truss's corner, who will have to spend most of their time firefighting the damage caused every time she opens her mouth. And as Prime Minister, that's going to be quite a lot. Could be very tasty. Of course, Tories are Tories, and they do often have their little spats and then fall in line to appear united for the public. There's absolutely no certainty that they're going to carry on with the infighting, but there is every chance that they may this time. And with 4 factions all thinking that their champion has the rightful claim to the throne, could be very messy indeed for them. An absolute gift for opposition parties as well. But those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. Hope you found the video interesting. If you did, please click the like button. And if you'd like to support the channel further, the join button for memberships. And until next time, I'll see you later.